Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am Phyllis Logan, your host for the Chicago Westside branch NAACP. Apologize for the slight delay. I also apologize for not being here last Monday. I was out in Waukegan, Wisconsin, trying to make my way back through rush hour traffic, and it didn't work out so well. So I'm back here this evening, and we will have one of our other members of our branch come on in a few minutes, and we're going to talk about the election. I know we've talked about this before several times, and it's just so imperative that we understand what's going on in Chicago and Cook County and the state of Illinois, and to help you be more prepared to exercise and to voice your choice on how things should work for the city of Chicago. You as a resident of the city of Chicago is so important. We've talked a couple of weeks ago. I brought up some numbers. The NAACP has an initiative going on right now in reference to us, our branch, the Chicago Westside branch, and we have several branches, but Chicago in particular. We're trying to register close to 25,000 available residents. Available meaning that they can vote, but they may not be properly registered to vote. And our goal and objective is to help you, be a part of the community, be a part of the activity, and help you register to vote at certain sites. So we're going to have our political action chair, Ramel Terry, who's also our second vice president for the branch of the Chicago Westside branch, call in and assist us with this process. The general election starts off with the midterm elections, which is what every other year, even year, dictates. So 2018 is a midterm election year. Midterm meaning it's 2 years away from the presidential election. So during the midterm elections is when we still have to cast our ballots. We have to vote on individuals, especially those in Congress. And I wanted to show you a list of the elected officials who were up for re-election in 2018. I know you've heard of talk, you've heard people doing all of the campaigning right now, and you're wondering why they're campaigning and it's not a presidential election. Well, several spaces or several activities for midterm elections still have to take place. So next year, here are some of the offices. Matter of fact, these are pretty much all of the offices that will be on the ballot for November 6th of 2018 in the general election. We will have a primary in March of 2018 to choose between or get two parties to represent, or two persons to represent each party. So we're up for election. We've got the governor and the lieutenant governor. You don't know who these people are. I mean, just every now and then you may see someone on your television, advertising to say, choose me, and this is why. The Illinois Attorney General office is up for election next year in 2018, as well as the Secretary of State, the Illinois Comptroller, the Illinois Treasurer, representatives in Congress. Our U.S. congressmen run 2-year terms, and they have to be reelected, or they have to be elected every 2 years, one in each district. Our state senators have 4-year terms, so every 4 years, on a staggering basis, we will have to elect some of our state senators. And these are the numbers. We're looking for individuals in the districts of 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 11, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 20, and 39. I don't know which district you're in, but if you have a state senator that's up for re-election, or there's a candidate out there running for that seat, they take a seat, they earn a seat, they hold it for 4 years, and every 4 years it's up for re-election, and it staggers for in another 2 years when it's time for the president election in 2020, there'll be other state senators up for re-election. All of our state representatives in the General Assembly in Springfield, They run for a term of 2 years. All of them are up for re-election. So you may hear, you'll also see them out there campaigning, getting petitions signed, wanting to get on the ballot. And many of them are doing just that, getting their petitions done so that they can get on the ballot for 2018. We have the commissioners of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District that are up in the greater Chicago. There's 3 individuals that have to be elected. There's several individuals running for these 3 seats. We have the president of the Cook County Board of Commissioners, the county clerk of Cook County, the treasurer of Cook County, the sheriff of Cook County, and the one name that I do know to reference who the sheriff of Cook County is Tom Dirt. So you know who the sheriff is. So when you hear someone running for the Cook County sheriff, that's the position they're looking to take. The assessor's office of Cook County. These are the individuals in charge of our property taxes, making sure that they send those bills out on time, making sure that you can appeal your taxes, your property taxes if you're a homeowner, and then making sure that the bill not only is it paid on time, but they make sure that your paperwork is recorded and up to par. The Cook County Commissioners, they run for 4 years, 1 in each district. They're running, I think they're up, some of them are up for now, if not all of them. The commissioners of the Board of Review of Cook County for districts 2 and 3. This is very important as well. These are the individuals who appeal your property taxes when you think that you're being overtaxed. And then we've got several judges up for election in 2018. For the Supreme Court, the Appellate Court, the Circuit and Sub-Circuit judges, there will be vacancies that need to be filled in that position. And as always, the Chicago Board of Elections phone number, 312-269-7900. If you have any concerns, always call that number, 312-269-7900, for your questions or your concerns. So, the reason why I bring this up this evening is because there is no better time than now to educate you, our consumers, the representatives of our communities, the residents of our community, to be able to have your voice heard, be knowledgeable about the candidates who are running in your community. And it brings to light something that I was able to pull up and do my research to make sure that I can validate what the concerns are. People are really not voting as they should. One more piece of information. In the 2016 election, we had over 1,570,000 individuals who were registered to vote for the 2016 election, November 8th of 2016. Out of that, only 1,115,000 people cast their ballots. People are not getting out to the polls as they should, and there's something wrong with this, and we here, the NAACP, are here to talk about that. 71% of the population, 7 people out of 10 people went out to cast their votes for the 2016 election. We know that this has to change, and we're calling on you now to be a part of that change. So we have a caller. Caller, your question or comment?
Hi, this is Ramel calling in, Phyllis.
There you go. Our political action chair, Ramel Terry, is on the call. And Ramel, we had some questions for you. I just gave a layout of the positions that are open for the next election, for the 2018 election, specifically the March, but I didn't go through any dates. I talked about how many people are registered to vote, but how many ballots were cast in 2016 going into the 2018 election. And as a political action chairperson, tell us what you envision coming up in the next few months prior to the March primary ballots.
Well, thank you for having me on the call, Phyllis. So the plan is that we have a few upcoming events with the branch. The plan is to ensure that we have people there that are available to register people to vote. So we have a housing event coming up, and we also have an education event coming up. So we want to make sure that any of our events, we do have a presence for voter registration to happen. And also, January 27th, we will be hosting a candidate forum, and there we are planning to host the gubernatorial candidate, the attorney general candidate, and possibly another race. So we're trying to figure out how that can fit into, that additional race can fit into the two that we already want to have together.
Mm-hmm.
So we would strongly suggest that people reach out to us so that they can be on our email list so that we can send them the communication about the date and the flyer, because that is a couple of months away. But we do have a, date of January 27th,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to host that candidate forum, and that's an opportunity for the community to come out to hear directly from the candidates. And we do our forums a little differently. I really appreciate the way that we do our forums because they're very authentic and community focused. So we come up with very pertinent questions that are related to our community, the issues that we're facing. So not necessarily how the media tries to dictate what they may deem important. We come directly from what's important on the west side of Chicago, what's important in Austin, what's important in Garfield Park, what's important in Lawndale, what's important, in Pilsen and all those areas in which encompasses the west side. And we ask those pertinent questions of the candidates so that people are informed. We really want to know what the plans are, not necessarily what your talking points are. So we have actual questions that allow us to learn whether or not these individuals are aware of their role and if they're actually capable of doing the job or implementing the plans that they have outlined on their websites or what have you.
Okay, so we're going to give them our information again. Call our office, 773-261-5890. As always, we're located at 5820 West Chicago Avenue, and our monthly meetings are the first Saturdays of every month at 1 p.m. Membership is power, but in reference to what's going to happen, take place, and two current events that are upcoming, do you have those dates? I do know that there's a housing event on December 2nd. You're saying that you will be hosting a voter registration table at that event and people can come out and do that?
Yes, we want to ensure that we have people that are able, deputy registrars there that are available to register people. And if there's anyone who's listening who's interested in becoming a deputy registrar or learning more about that, they also can reach out to us. But yes, we want to make sure, I don't have the date for the education event.
Okay.
But,
And we'll continue to even next Monday to get the dates out so that people can participate in reference to voter registration. So the people who would be coming to our table would be in need of our services for what reason? I mean, if they want to register to vote, if these are 17, 18-year-olds, or?
You can register to vote, and you can also change your address, because remember, that's a very important piece. Many people believe that they can just go in, but you also need to change your address and ensure that all of your registration information is accurate. So if there's someone who recently moved, or maybe they moved a while ago and they just haven't completed that process of updating their voter registration information, we'll be able to do that for them as well.
Okay, so I've heard people to say because of the redistricting a few years ago in their with the aldermanic wards, that many people are concerned that they don't know where to go to vote, or if they're in a right location where they're still registered to vote. Is that something that our office can help them out with as well?
Yes, so if you're uncertain, come see one of the deputy registrars, and then they can register you with your current information to ensure that by the time the election is here, you are prepared and ready to go.
So people who are filing for new driver's licenses or who have moved, question came up earlier today. Are they registering to vote at the drivers of, I forgot what you call that. Are they being registered to vote at those facilities? Yes.
To my knowledge, that is supposed to be the case, but I haven't experienced it firsthand.
Mhm.
So if anyone is going into the DMV and they're getting their license or ID updated, I would confirm whether or not the voter registration piece is actually happening. So I can't speak to that directly because I haven't had that experience.
Okay.
But from my understanding, they're supposed to be doing that. But, that's something that people would have to confirm.
Okay, and the ages for registering to vote in the next primary are 17-year-olds, those that are 17 right now. What do they have to have happen for the March? What I don't know the date of the March primary.
So the March primary is actually March 20th.
Okay.
And so for anyone who is voting, you have to be of legal age by the time the election cycle comes.
Okay, so March
So
20th, 2018, an individual has to be 18 to actually cast a vote at the primary election.
register at 17 if they're going to be 18 by the time the election
Okay,
is going to be held.
okay.
So if they're not going to be 18 by that time, then no. But if they will be 18 by that time, then yes.
Okay. So we still get questions as far as the reentry population, who qualifies to vote as far as the reentry population. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so as far as our reentry individuals, anyone who is not essentially what they call on paper, so they're not on probation, house arrest, or any of those things, they are capable of voting, registering, and actually casting their ballot. So even individuals who are sitting in Cook County Jail, who are waiting to be, determined whether or not they are going to be convicted or let go,
Mm-hmm.
they are also able to vote.
And is there activity to make sure that they're registered and that they are exercising their right to vote on those premises?
Yeah, I do believe some organizations like NAACP go into
Okay,
and some probably other organizations actually go into the
okay,
county jails to register people to vote. But from our organization, we don't have anyone that is available. Well, I mean, NAACP, Benny Lee is a part of our organization, so I guess it's like both organizations. But yeah.
okay. So if I'm not going to be in town on March 20th, can I? How soon do I need to cast a vote if I
So
know I'm not going to be here to vote at my precinct on March 20th?
So anyone who's in Cook County can go to the Cook County Board of Elections website and apply effective December 20th of this year for a mail-in ballot. Like if you know for sure you're not going to be in town during any of the time where there's early voting or what have you, and even on election day, you can apply for that mail-in ballot on December 20th. But February 8th, 2018, early voting began.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you know that you're not going to be in town on March 20th, you can vote as early as February 8th of 2018, which is why we wanted to have our candidate forum right before early voting began. So for those individuals who may not be in town or who like to just get there, cast their ballot and get it out of the way, they have an opportunity to see some of these candidates up front to, make a more informed decision.
So we'll have candidates forums for which races again?
So the one on the 27th, for sure it's going to be the gubernatorial race and the IG race.
Okay.
IAG, the Illinois
IAG.
Attorney General race.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out if we're going to add a third race to that.
So now I also gave everyone a list of the candidates' positions that were open for election, and we have not only just the governors, but also the You said the Illinois Attorney General, but we have
Yeah,
the
you have
Cook
the water
County,
rep,
we have the
you
Cook
have the water
County
rep,
Treasurer.
Cook County Board.
Okay, okay. So I don't know if I was clear on the Cook County Commissioners. Are the commissioners running this term as well, this election as well? All of the
Yeah, I believe
commissioners?
it is. To my understanding, I believe it is the Cook County Commissioner. So on the, um, what is this, the Cook County Board of Elections site that I was on, they have yet to put certain information. So they won't have it updated until December 1st.
Okay, December 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So the Cook County Commissioners, the Cook County President, though, is running for re-election, as well as the Cook County Sheriff and the Cook County Treasurer, as well as the Cook County County Clerk. Are those individuals posted, and will we have forms for them as well, for those candidates as well?
So I have to look at all of the races to determine what will be the best use of our time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said that third race that I may add to the gubernatorial is possibly the Cook County Board President, but the idea is that we want to wait to see how many people are going to make the ballot. Because
Okay.
we want to make sure that when we are having these forums, they're the best use of the community's time as well as ours. So we want to ensure that there's going to be someone who is an incumbent as well as someone who is challenging that person, so that people can have an idea of all points of view.
And that deadline date for the candidates to get into the race is when?
Now that's, let's see.
I know I'm posing questions that I did not find out for myself, so.
No, it's okay. Because the issue, they still have a little time.
So they're getting petitions out now. When are petitions turned in? Do you know?
So that's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
What date the petitions are due. Because
Okay.
people are still out there gathering their signatures
Okay.
for all of the various races.
Can you validate while you're looking? People sign petitions all the time. What are the rules on signing a petition?
You have to, I know for one, you have to be a registered voter.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe you have to be within the region in which you're signing a petition.
Okay. So if it's for the governor, anyone in the state of Illinois that's a registered voter can sign the petition, correct?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then for the Cook County, let's say this building is in Commissioner, the district number 1. So if they live in district number 1, they have to be registered to vote in district number 1 to sign the petition?
Now that I'm not sure,
Okay.
because that's still within the county.
Okay, I got you. So we'll have, and we have time. We have one more session that we want to do by the deadline date for the filing of the petitions, but we want to be able to give people substantive information on how to sign those petitions if that's what they're doing, because we know that people are out there walking the pavement with petitions for individuals to sign. But in order to sign a petition, they do have to be a registered voter, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I think this guide, it looks like the petition circulation, it says filing period.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
For established party candidates, it states, and they have through December 4th, looks like.
Okay, December 4th. So by December 4th, all petitions should be complete. So if anyone's out there soliciting you, our audience right now, to sign a petition, as long as you're a registered voter, you should be okay to sign that petition. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we want to give everyone our office information again. We're located at 5820 West Chicago Avenue. And if you have any questions for for Ramel Terry, our political action chairperson, leave a message at the office, 773-261-5890. Also, if you're interested in, participating, volunteering to assist her with the upcoming activity that she has for December, as well as going into next year on our candidates forms, feel free to call our office once again and just leave a message and say you want to leave a message for Ramel Terry. Ramel is not only our political action person, but she's also our unit's second vice president. So, Ramel, we're going to have you on again. And
Okay.
Verna's looking forward to you being in the studio.
Yes, I have to put that on my agenda. So to the listeners out there, we are volunteers. So I have a full-time job, but this is also a full-time job. So definitely will work that out for you, Phyllis. So that
Okay, we want to see her in December before we end at the end of December. So the qualifications, let's get to this real quick. We've got another minute. In order to register to vote, what are the qualifications?
you need to be an individual that is 17 years of age who will be 18 on the date immediately following the general or consolidated election.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, have your identification
Okay.
and yeah, live here in the city or in the county or the state in which you're trying to vote.
Okay, very good. Our second vice president for the Chicago Westside branch, as well as our political action chair, Ramel Terry, thank you so much for joining in with us this evening. We're hoping to have you here by mid-December to give individuals further information on this process so that we can, one of the challenges for the Chicago Westside branch was to try to register at least 1% of the loss that we had in 2016 of about 245,000 individuals. So 10% of that is 25,000. So we're hoping that we can get as much individuals to assist you as much as possible. And we're looking to hear from you in the month of December. So thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you for having me. And yes, anyone interested, please, we need those bodies.
There you go. Thank you very much. Okay. So thank you, audience. I am Phyllis Logan, your host. And once again, we need your assistance. We need you to join forces with us. We've got information that is so privy to the next election that you need to be a part of. And we're looking forward to our next conversation. And to all of you, have a good evening. And please enjoy this Thanksgiving season. To all of those out there, we wish you nothing but blessings to continue on, and we'll talk to you next Monday. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving.